Hello, hello. And we're starting off. Hopefully, everyone having a good Sunday. We're starting off here with a Pantheon band, and the first one at least the first band I've seen of it, a Viego band, with a loud band coming in from InkJet420 and a Jin. Oh god, they're just going through these bands. Seraphine's third band for InkJet420 here. What will be the third band for Raven Esports? Then we're getting the Gnar pick from InkJet420 here. Yo, Geesia, I wanted to tell you, what are your thoughts on the newest champion Viego here? Seen him played a bit in Seal and then currently banned in this. With some jungler stats. But mm, uh, well, here we have a Cho'Gath and a Sivir coming in from the side of Raven Esports here. Cho'Gath could most likely he's going top, but could be going somewhere in like a jungle area or something like that. Then we got possibly the bot lane locked in for InkJet420 here with the Lucian Nami. Well, looks like Raven Esports. Yeah, Raven Esports has that bot lane covered with Sivir Thresh. I personally don't know this matchup all too well since I'm not a bot laner. But here we go with the.
I was about to say, as far as the bot lane goes, like Sivir has the advantage of like Nami not able to bubble her very efficiently, and Thresh hopefully being able to hook out that Nami. Lucian is kind of mobile, so it's hard for Thresh to necessarily hit abilities on him.
But you never know, that could also be Lucian mid. It's still love to be played. And we got the final two bands coming in from Raven Esports here, the Fizz and the Leech. But for InkJet420, we got the Aurelion Soul band against Raven Esports mid laner. Heard he quite likes to play someone like an Aurelion Soul or an Nivea. Just looking at that final band to see what it is.
Aurelion Soul personally is kind of interesting. It's not exactly a champion that you see, extremely often during games. So it's kind of a definitely unique niche pick that Raven Esports has for their mid laner.
And then InkJet420 decided to ban the Kazakhs. Definitely seen Raven Esports jungler play a bit of Kazakhs recently, but oh, they're deciding to go with the Hecarim.
Hecarim is
So
personally fantastic, really fast clear, easy ganks just because of his mobility and ultimate, very good for like team fights. Just a pretty solid champion overall.
definitely. See, uh, sorry about that. So, you gotta wake up a little bit. Oh, we got Zach from InkJet420 to answer the Hecarim.
Zach, fantastic, can gank from very odd places, and so it does make him actually, kind of hard to play against. Because if you just autopilot your wards and stuff like that, like Zach's just gonna be able to get in without you seeing him.
You definitely have to watch out for junglers like Zach or like the Kane, who have those very weird gank paths. Oh, and Xerath's coming in on the mid lane, so it is going to be Lucian bot for side of InkJet420 here.
Yeah, we'll agree. Xerath is a lot of fun, a very strong, solid champion. It is kind of a stranger pick because I do feel like Xerath has to poke and everybody else on the team just wants to go in. And then Orianna. Two solid ball carriers for that Orianna as well.
Yeah, and you definitely can relate when it comes to Xerath wanting to poke into with a team that just wants to go in. But personally, Xerath versus Orianna matchup, have you played it, or what are your thoughts on it?
I mean, they're both very.
Life is too short for
I
fear.
guess to say the best, they're not like champions that are gonna go into.
My genius will be understood eventually.
Be very hugely aggressive on each other that much.
Okay.
Xerath, I do believe, has the advantage inherently due to his range.
You have the heart of a weakling.
Because I think he can stay outside of. Where's the thing? Outside of the range for.
Orianna's ball.
Nope, that's not what I wanted to move. And you keep talking because I'm trying to get this fixed.
Looking at the top lane matchups here, I definitely think at least early game we'll go to the Gnar. He just has that range advantage on the Cho'Gath and will be able to just bully him out of lane if he can.
I agree with that to an extent, but Cho'Gath just has so much inherent.
I return.
Yeah, which is why I was saying that Gnar could have an advantage early, but the longer the game goes, the more Cho'Gath scales, so you have to watch out for him. So might even be starting to munch on the bot lane here if he gets enough stacks.
Alright, getting the last of the champions locked in here. So it does look like InkJet, their main carriers are definitely going to be Photosmart and Sheep's Head. Everything else is kind of like utility AoE ultimates to really facilitate those team fights. But like, on the same token, it definitely feels like, you know, mid-bot, Beta Lynx and the only Mr. EO are definitely the two higher the carries, with Cho'Gath being a lot tankier and Hecarim being able to do kind of the same thing as Zac, just like gank a lot and try to make sure that the teams are doing well, but kind of doesn't get nearly as tanky as Zac will.
It looks like here that both teams' main engages are, we have the Zac for InkJet420, and for Raven Esports we have the Hecarim and the Thresh for the main engage. But looking at these team comps, who do you think, at least right now, is going to come up with the win?
You know, personally, I'm a huge Xerath fan, and I hate playing against Zac with a passion because I think he's so strong at doing this stuff. I feel like InkJet has a better team fight comp, and if they're able to engage before they can get like the Orianna with the ball carrier on the Hecarim or the Thresh, they're gonna struggle. So I'm voting on InkJet. What about What about you, Requiem, and the rest of the people in chat? What do you guys think?
I think it honestly could go either way. A good Zac engage or a good Gnar ultimate could turn the fight for InkJet420, but Raven Esports just has a lot of just the go-in onto the Lucian or the Xerath. Even though, for those champions, Xerath should not be anywhere near the Hecarim or the Thresh, and Lucian just has a dash to get out, so I think it could just go either way. But if I was a betting man, I'd say my money is definitely on InkJet420 to take this first win.
Sounds good. Sounds good. Looks like we got somebody that absolutely hates Hecarim and is voting for Raven Esports on that. Oh man.
Yeah.
Sivir kind of an odd pick though. Like, I haven't seen or heard much about that champion, especially since preseason had hit. I'm not entirely sure what she's even gonna build. Kind of expecting the Immortal Shield Bow, but we will see. We will see going into it.
think in this game you definitely would want to go to shield, but you have like Zac and Gnar who want to get on you. You just have Lucian with his damage, and then just Xerath with his poking. But I will say that Gale Force could also be something that she runs. Gale Force is just too strong, even with its nerf of the cooldown. But that's about it.
Yeah, to be fair, that is all they nerfed on it though, just the cooldown.
Yeah. As for getting ready here again, hopefully everyone's having a good Sunday. It is a little bit early for me, so I'm not like too energetic for this cast, but hey, I'm going to try my best.
A bit early, didn't you wake up like 20 minutes ago?
Oh yeah, 3-hour naps are fun.
Oh man, your naps are too long. Oh,
I'm-
right. This looks like we're just about to start heading into the loading screen here, so fortunately only a 3-minute delay, so hopefully we can start seeing some action pretty soon here.
Mm-hmm.
Alright. Rackham, if you would like to, I guess just keep them up to date with what you're seeing and what you're doing while I get the logos fixed up right now.
That would be if my league would actually load. But looking here, everything seems normal for all sides of both. We got Dark Harvest coming from Xerath actually, into the Orianna matchup, into the just rest of the team. What do you feel about the Dark Harvest with Xerath?
You know, Dark Harvest is always something that I've wanted to mess around with. I've never actually done a whole lot with it, so I'm excited to see how it goes. The plus side with Dark Harvest is that if you manage to get people low constantly, if he's going like the Leandri's Illudens, it does do a lot of damage. I do not like how tanky the opposing team is for taking the Dark Harvest, but you know, I'm not a god in any sense of any stretch of the word.
I personally think the Dark Harvest is a little bit out there, a little bit stretchy. I honestly would have either gone for the Electrocute or the Comet. So while we're just waiting while we're just waiting for the game to fully get into action here, so everything else seems normal for all the other champions. And what do you think both teams are going to do?
Okay, so that is huge. I
Are
think
we
they're
at
gonna
10 seconds, by the way?
5-point would be my best bet. I'm currently trying to get Raven Gaming's
Welcome
icon to
to
not be the
Summoner's
size of the
Rift.
screen, and then I'm also trying to get the game on the screen because for some reason that's not there.
You know, that
30
is
seconds until
a
minions
very
spawn.
weird.
Yeah, I had this working a second ago, so that's not good.
I think for Raven Esports, they would want to go for the invade. They have like the CC of Cho'Gath and Thresh, primarily just the Thresh. But if I was saying if I was 420 over here, I'd either go for the stack, knowing that the Thresh is on the other team, or go for the 5 point.
Alright, I got it back.
So let me know when you're 10.
How do I fix this?
Can lift. It's how good you
Wait.
look.
You keep talking, I'm gonna see why it's showing two different league clients. I guess a better thing, in chat, is it showing two different league clients for you guys as well as me not actually having any of those spectators going?
Well, I just went ahead and started what I could see, and looks like Looks like the Heckrams really wanted to ward that blue side, even though both Gnar and Xerath caught him and the Orianna. And Vision, at least. Looking at items here, everything seems normal. And any luck trying to get your side fixed?
Yes,
I'm
at the very least, I've got the objective timers and stuff, so I am trying to figure out how to get it to produce not two games going on stream, but we can at least, talk about what's going on for now.
Yeah, but yeah, Raven Esports just did not end up going for the invade because Jorge the Wheeze got just wanted to ward that blue buff, and they saw him. Looks like we're just having a normal leash here from both bot lanes for the junglers. It's normal starts all around.
Fantastic, and I figured out the problem, so we are good to go. I have everything set up on here now, except for getting rid of the timer.
I'm at 1 minute 54 seconds.
Okay, well then I'm gonna go pause.
Jeez, you're already ahead of me.
Yeah, I'm at 328.
Oh.
Just tell me when you're there. Are you at 328?
3, 2, 1.
What are you counting down for?
Oh, I started. I was at 328.
I didn't even know you were at 328. Are you at 328?
I'm at 335.
Okay, I'm gonna get to 328. Looks like I'm fighting in the bot lane, though, getting some good trades. They're getting bubbled and ignited.
First blood.
Okay, I'm at 338 now. Are you at 338?
I'm at 339. Good enough?
Okay, 3, 2, 1, go. Alright, that took a little bit longer, and I don't know why chat just turned itself on.
Oh.
Orianna
Go ahead.
trying to flash away, getting pulled back from the Zac, and Orianna, like, barely getting out of no HP. So guys, really hurt that power. Lucian trying to steal that skill grab. Hecarim is quite a bit of a slide, getting killed by the Zac.
We'll say that was a very good bubble by Nami, actually. Like, she did it on top of herself and the Hecarim. I think thinking that the bubble was just going to go on him already, just actually walked into it.
Yeah, going down just to try and get that scuttle there.
Sadly, his mid laner almost died to the gank, and his bot lane just didn't have any prio, so Hecarim just could not find a good opportunity to safely take the scuttle there. Just got normal trading up in the top lane. It's hard for both laners to really get a suitable trade onto them. It says fleet forward on Gnar and just Cho'Gath's natural sustain because of his passive. But looking at gold leads. Looking at gold here, it's 420 is ahead by 1k gold actually, and ooh, 3. Sivir opting to go for 3 daggers.
Those are long swords, my guy.
Long swords, yes.
They're not daggers. That is a lot of long swords, though.
And that is about almost 1k gold in the bank, just for long swords.
Yeah, just about. Actually, a little bit more. I think it's 1,050. Lucian is ahead in this matchup, though. He does have that kill and assist up a little bit. He has a full ninja already broken out.
And he has that kill and assist up, and remember his kill was the first blood, so he got a little bit extra gold off of it.
This is true. So he he's doing pretty solid right now. Probably a couple hundred gold on that Sivir.
Hecarim here is just trying to go for anything he can.
Gnar, knowing that the Hecarim is there because he cleared the ward, still playing aggressive.
That could have ended up a little bit badly for the Gnar here, but Cho'Gath did use his first feast on the cannon minion there. Oh, looks like they're going after the Hecarim.
Yep. Hecarim now getting stuck between Gnar and Xerath. Getting chunked out. Orianna coming out with a shield, slowing down the... but he gets the Scuttle Crab. Gnar taking some damage and
Blue team
throwing it
slain
on.
But
We got Zombie mid lane, stunning the Orianna now. Double stun on that. Orianna coming out, and Photosmart's gonna take the kill on Beta. All of that just for a Scuttle Crab.
And I will say, while that happened,
Oh, Zac now trying to pick up the kill on the Hecarim. Ghosts away, and hit by one of the ults from Xerath, and going down to the third shot.
as Xerath player yourself, does it feel satisfying to just land any of those ultimates to get the final kill on anybody?
Yeah, I mean, they're not the easiest ability. Like, he does not have the easiest skill shot in the world to land, so being able to hit these abilities is so satisfying.
I will say, during that whole fight, it was actually better for... It was still better for the side of 420 here, because they also... Because Realbot actually decided to see his opportunity to take the dragon as well.
Yeah, all that was basically for a Scuttle Crab, unfortunately.
And Hecarim almost lost the Scuttle Crab, having to smite and just get in a queue last second when anyone could have just autoed it. So Scuttle Crab still could have been taken there. Not really worth it on the side of Raging Esports. And looking at that, I think that actually got 2 kills for the Xerath here. So now he has Blasting Wand and the Lost Chapter, and he also has a bounty. So
Hecarim now looking spot lane, autos the ward a few times. Jump on in, steering away. Now getting placed back in. Zac coming in on the Thresh. Thresh is going to go down to the Illusion Ultimate. Hecarim now low as hard as he can, coming in on the
Blue team double kill.
coming in as well. Sivir very low. Gonna have to run her. Splash. Xerath taking out that Sivir with the Dark Harvest.
I will say very well played by the Nami. They're using her ultimate to stop Hecarim and Thresh from going on to the Lucian at the same exact time, making Hecarim having to use his ultimate before he actually wanted to.
I will say, like, even with the Nami ultimate, he did still land that auto attack on the guy. We got Xerath ulting and melee. Close to light, but getting hit by the stun. Orianna's gonna go down again.
Oh no. Oh.
Now Zac trying to find something in on the Cho'Gath here. Probably just trying to stop the tower. Zac, Cho'Gath taking a few tower shots here is not good.
And Cho'Gath did not attack the Zac. It's just that's Bomby Cinder. So one heck of an item when you're under tower.
Oh yeah. Gnar now looking at the Cho'Gath. Cho'Gath is walking back to his tower. Gnar doing some damage. Xerath now slowly getting engaged in on by the Hecarim. Trying to chase him down, but it seems like Xerath is just a little bit faster. He's waiting on his E to come back, but he's going to opt to not continue that chase.
Waiting for his E to come back and kiting Hecarim over to the Zac, as Gnar actually is trying to get some wards into Hecarim's jungle here. This Hecarim is just not having a good game, man.
They're really focusing out this Hecarim. They are anywhere. If he passes the river, he is seen. He is engaged on. He's struggling a little bit here.
And if seeing here, because of all the kills that Lucian and Xerath have gotten, they have actually already completed their mythic at 11 minutes. That is actually really really big for the side of 420 here. Yeah, 11-minute Kraken Slayer and 11-minute Ludens. Honestly, how do you feel about Ludens on Xerath against a beefy comp like this with the Thresh, Hecarim, and Cho'Gath?
So personally, I like going Leandre's more. That feels like a better tank killer to go for double burn. But they're going into the Orianna, the stun hitting. The second stun from Xerath hitting as well, getting some damage off Cho'Gath and Zac now tanking. But the ult coming up from Xerath, blowing the Orianna flash, but still taking her down.
Yeah, it seems they're really focusing on this jungler and mid lane here, just leaving top lane on its own island as normal people do, and then bot lane just having a few trades where it's hard when Lucian has already completed his mythic item.
That Kraken Slayer really strong on that one, personally. That you can proc it very, very quickly.
And it looks like everyone else is just trying to complete their mythic right now. Oh, we got a little scuff on top.
Looks like Nar's trying to fight him out. That pass is really putting in work. And the good Q from the Cho'Gath knocking him up mid. Dash. Ult coming in from the Gnar here. The trade is about even. With that Cho'Gath ult threatening the Gnar. You gotta be careful.
Blue team has slain the dragon.
Yeah, just one good Q on him.
Oh, and the flash from Cho'Gath was just not enough damage to get him down here. Cho'Gath will be able to heal up here.
Well, but because of that flash from Cho'Gath, Gnar was forced to flash there just so he couldn't get eaten, but I think even if you flash, you can still be eaten by Cho'Gath.
Yep, it is an animation. As long as you can get the beginning animation off, that's all that matters.
Probably was just not within the health threshold to eat, even though it looked like he could have been. You know, look.
It was right on the possible being in that threshold. Oh, Orianna getting done. Down to Xerath after the Zac goes in to keep the CC going.
I will say, if it wasn't for the Xerath having 6 kills, it would probably be a lot more even in this lane. Because
I mean, to give the Xerath like credit, he is playing very well. He's hitting his skill shots.
yes.
He's outdueling the Orianna when she wants to fight. So even on like Orianna's terms, he has been playing it very well.
Oh, this is an interesting buy. A Ken tank on the Cho'Gath. Normally, I see either Sunfire or Frostfire, especially into the matchup of the Gnar, but I guess he wants to opt for the Ken tank. Still get that ability haste because recent patch they changed it from that being on Sunfire to Ken tank.
Yeah, if it changes around, who knows? Ken tank could be a lot better. It does have the advantage. Personally, I like it over like Sunfire. It has a nice active. Sunfire's big advantage is basically just its raw stats and solo queue fighting potential, but I think the actual active Cho'Gath is getting here is really good. Oh, Cho'Gath predicting Gnar to run away. This is the cute Gnar now trying to get back to his tower with Hecarim coming in, getting caught up. Both getting stunned there. Hecarim getting very low with the tower shots. Xerath taking him down with the ultimate from basically mid-lane. Cho'Gath is still very tanky.
I am very surprised Cho'Gath did not cast his ultimate there. He had ample opportunity to cast it and could have caused Xerath to probably still not walk up. But now it looks like Cho'Gath's gonna fall here.
Coming up from Orianna's now just going to try and clear the waves, trying to make sure they don't just like take the tower here.
Yeah.
Okay. Apparently I'm very quiet, so I'm going to turn myself up.
Top lane fight I think was fine if Cho'Gath used his ultimate, but I don't normally play Gnar nor Cho'Gath, so I would not know. Oh. Looks like we're having more of a scuffle here in the bot lane.
This is true. Hecarim coming in from behind as well. Going right for that Lucian right there, getting insta-stunned by the Zac and just having to run away. Hopefully my voice is better. I did try to turn myself up a little bit. I definitely hope Requiem's voice is okay as well.
But alright. It's just this is what I wanted to say during that bot lane scuffle. But looks like we're actually getting. Oh, he ulted this time.
Nar just getting run down by that Cho'Gath, as well as Orianna getting run down by the Xerath as well.
If I was on the side of Raven Esports here, I'd probably think, man, that Xerath was a little strong right now. Can we kind of focus him a little bit more?
They do have the way in. They do have like a Hecarim and a Cho'Gath.
And a Thresh.
Yeah, and ways to just run in on this
Team's
guy.
turret has been destroyed.
Yeah, it's just they're not normally sending the people there. They're just letting Orianna just keep dying to the Xerath here.
Yeah, they're kind of leaving Orianna alone.
Which I personally think that is not the best play of Raven Esports to do here, but I want to say they keep trying for these bot lane stuff, but Lucian with his dash, with his Kraken Slayer, and already doing half health to like Sivir and Thresh here, it's so hard to get something done in the bot lane because of that.
I do agree. I think most of the focus needed to be put on this top lane. It's definitely their stronger lane right now for Raven Esports.
Yeah. I definitely think it either would be this top lane or to try to at least get this shutdown on someone from the Xerath here, because that 700 gold is still quite a big shutdown.
Yeah, that is true. That is a lot of money to put on one person. Could turn the tide of the game. Gnar now mid lane with that Orianna right there, throwing her, trying to get her into a wall, but she flashes away to safety. Thresh now finding himself on the wrong side of the jungle, flashing the wall and the stun from the Zac. Looks like he's going to be able to walk this one out.
I think if Zac just waited a little bit there, Thresh would not have just this free walk out.
Gnar now just turning on the Thresh, and that Xerath damage just chunking with those Dark Harvest stacks.
I think at this point Xerath is way too far ahead and they have to engage on him. Even with Ludens, he's still quite popping those tanks just because of how far ahead he is.
This is true. The Sivir did go for the Immortal Shield though, just like we were talking about earlier. Not too surprising there.
Hecarim opting to go for a Divine Sunder, which I think isn't bad, but I don't think he's ahead enough to want to opt for that.
Yeah, I'm personally just not a huge fan of Divine Sunder as an item, and so I think that's probably why I'm so against it.
I think it's a fine item, especially on more of a bruiser type champion like a Riven or a Renekton, or man, even an Urgot. I'd definitely play some Divine Sunder Urgot, but it requires you to also have at least either break even or to be ahead. You don't really want the Divine Sunder if you're going.
Oh, Gnar getting hooked here. Hecarim engaging him as well, but Mega Gnar coming out. Stun coming in on the Thresh, taking him down instantly. Hecarim now diving that Lucian, trying to get as much as he can in there. Cho'Gath trying to get him as well, but they just cannot catch this Lucian. Sivir is now going to be taking down the Gnar, but Cho'Gath and Sivir will go down. Only Orianna is left.
And they have plenty of ways to dive this Orianna.
Zac already trying, but can only get the Q off. Nothing to auto attack. Orianna ult coming out as well, but he does still have his passive.
I will say a valiant attempt by the Hecarim there to get hit onto Lucian. It actually almost worked. If Cho'Gath just was a little bit faster to get there, Lucian would have died there.
He got down to about half health after the engage from both of those two.
If Cho'Gath was just a little bit faster and then had his ult ready and prepped, so Lucian would have died there. But not a bad turnaround for the side of 420 here, especially with Mega Gnar. You have to watch out when he's about to transform, because he still gets that health boost and he gets that access to his ultimate, which is can just be so good in tight corners like that.
Oh yeah, that ultimate is like almost the entire reason why I love Gnar as a champion. That ultimate is so impactful.
Yeah. I will say though, the Shogath is becoming tankier and tankier, and the longer this game goes out, either Xerath will have to buy something like a demonic to just hopefully try to cut through that Shogath health, or just send Lucian after him with all that, with just the Kraken Slayer tank melting.
Yeah, I will just say, I think the Lucian right now is enough. He's got the highest CS in the game. He's got a couple kills. Like, I definitely think he can melt that Shogath.
But I also definitely think Shogath might not even matter if Xerath and everyone else can just wipe through the rest of Wraith and Esports here before they even get the Shogath. But
look at that damage from Xerath.
We'll say the Hecarim now opting to go for the Bramble Vest, and it's going to help against someone like the Gnar and the Lucian, but it's not going to help against Xerath.
Yeah, Xerath is so impactful, just does so much damage. Now they're going in on the Thresh with Xerath half-healthing him, Zac just going in for it. Ult coming in from Xerath is going to take him down after the flash.
Yeah, that's because of how ahead this. I will have to give it to this jungler though. He's really good at ganking his lanes. He got his mid lanes way ahead and always knew where that Hecarim was going to be. Apparently.
Oh yeah, the Hecarim was just they basically always had eyes on him. Always knew what he was doing. He made it very difficult for him to do much.
And just noticing here, Gnar is the only one to have died on the side of.
Yeah. Oh, Orianna ult coming out there to save her life and get away, barely. Oh, good spell shield from the Sivir, blocking the good damage from the Xerath there.
I will say, sadly, you're not going to have that spell shield up for forever, not on every ability. So.
No, and the shield bow has already been procced on the Sivir from the second Q on Xerath.
And dead.
She just goes down. Hecarim now ghosting, going all in on this Xerath. I think he's gonna go down. Oh, it looks like he's still alive, still walking away with that Nami. Lucian also there as well. Running into him in the jungle. And then going down to the Xerath after all. After all that chasing is going down to it.
He was so close, but just a little bit too ambitious. Wow.
Xerath ultimate going on Ori. Just the ultimate, 100-0 the Orianna. Cho'Gath trying to split push this though.
It's just, they need Cho'Gath for fights like these. He's the only one that can tank damage from the Xerath, from the Lucian. Just everyone else just melts in the face of Xerath.
Yeah, just so much damage. I mean, he's 16-0 right now. He's already got 3 items. He's working on a 4th, and it looks like they're trying to go get Baron right now. With that Infernal.
He went for that Hourglass, so it's going to be harder for someone like the Hecarim to engage on him. I did want to say before we saw Orianna got blasted by 3 shots from the ult was the Hecarim tried so hard. It's just the Nami got there just in time for Xerath.
Yeah, that's true. Good coordination coming out. Thresh now getting ulted by the Lucian, almost going down. Goes down to the Lucian. Hecarim now in a 1v1, but Lucian getting over with the blast plant.
And
Hecarim looks like he getting a little close to the Zac there. Xerath ult. Oh, wow. Just one shot from the Xerath ultimate. Just almost killing him right there. Gnar ult coming out on the Cho'Gath. Can Gnar fight the Cho'Gath here? That's the question. Dodging the Q rupture. It's very good. We got the Gargoyle Stone Plate coming out here. Gnar trying just so hard to deal with the Cho'Gath. They get Baron here. Gnar probably just trying to stay alive, running away from the Cho'Gath. Looks like they're both going to get out here.
Yep. But Cho'Gath is going to be able to heal up on Gnar. It's going to take a bit to heal with the fleet footwork, but he will still be able to get there fast on the. Oh, but the rupture to stop Gnar's jump. But here we go, Xerath. Actually, not doing as much damage as people would probably
looks
like.
Xerath. Oh, he's gonna zone use the Hecarim ultimate. A good thing to zone use. And just that one ability, just doing enough damage to half health the Hecarim there.
I think if either Zac or Nami got there, the Hecarim would have just died. But hey, someone finally took down the Xerath, but you still got like another 1,000 gold to give. Just.
Even with that shutdown, Raven Esports still down by 10,000 gold.
I will say, it looks like it's starting to become hard for the Xerath to just pop someone like the Cho'Gath.
Cho'Gath is very tanky.
And looking at individual gold here, it's a lot closer for top lane than it is every other lane, my guy.
Yeah, top lane was definitely that island.
But the closest ones here are actually either the jungler or the top laner. The support's up by almost 2k gold. ADC's up by almost 3k, and the mid lane is up by almost a full 6k gold lead.
Yeah, and that Lucian and Xerath, the two main carries for InkJet, are just so strong.
I will say Xerath will want to opt for something to cut through Cho'Gath.
Oh, hook onto the Nami. They get the combo off with the Orianna ultimate. Gnar coming in. Hecarim going down to the Lucian. The Gnar out pulling a few people back. Cho'Gath now having his eyes set on that Lucian, but just not fast enough to keep up with him. Rupture going down, turning his sights onto the Gnar, and both Cho and Sivir will go down.
Yeah. Sadly, during that fight, their main two engages with the Hecarim and the Thresh just got taken out so early there from the Xerath ultimate, from just Lucian doing basic attacks. Oh god.
And Orianna will go down to getting stunned coming out of there.
Looks like this will be game. They also have mid lane pushing in, and only the Thresh is going to be alive for right now.
Xerath over with 23 Dark Harvest stacks though.
Gnar actually almost going down to the turret, but
good play right there. Is there Hecarim going in trying to get another kill, but the Nexus will go down. Game 1 goes to InkJet.
Seems we definitely both put our money in the right place there.
Yeah, I definitely expected the game to be a lot closer, but
I am almost scared to look at these damage charts, my guy.
I am expecting Xerath to just be topping that right there. As Ethereal Images has said, yeah, I definitely recommend that Xerath fan game too.
Oh, yikes. Xerath doing 32k. Actually, the Gnar pulling ahead of the Lucian, probably mostly because he got the beat up on Cho'Gath most of the game, was just barely like 1k over Lucian, but the damage coming out from Raven Esports, I will give it to them. They tried, but just 420 had them on lock. They had the Orianna shut down. They had the Hecarim shut down. The only winning lane they had was the Cho'Gath.
Yeah, just very, very just in favor of InkJet that entire game. They just held on.
And if I was Raven Esports, I probably would not recommend banning the Viego. He can be countered, but I would recommend getting rid of that Zac, getting rid of that Xerath. Those seem to be the main two problems, because bot lane seemed even until Zac decided to show up, and also they always caught out the Hecarim, so that was not fun for him.
Yeah, this is true. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and switch to an intermission while we get ready for game 2.
Yep. Oh god, that fucking Xerath.
Alright, we're back getting ready for the bans for game 2. Looks like they're just waiting for a ready check. So what do you think that the Raven Esports needs to change going into this game?
I definitely think a Zac and a Xerath ban would be nice for them here.
Yeah, they definitely seem to be very dominant. Do you think InkJet should change up anything that they've done so far?
No, I personally think all the bans were fine. They didn't really seem to have a problem during it. But mostly because they got the Xerath and Lucian very far ahead very early.
Still opting for the Viego ban first. So far, it's the same as last game was. Oh, there's the Xerath. Yep. Gotta ban it.
I know Viego is new, but I don't think he's ban worthy, especially if you wanted to get rid of that Zac.
You know, I feel like the biggest worry with Viego is that it's because he's new. You haven't seen a whole lot of Viegos, so some of your team members might just not know how to play against it.
But very true. But all the hype around him is starting to at least die down a little bit after that first week. Oh, we're actually getting the Sejuani from Raven Esports here.
Yeah, Sedge over the Hecarim this time. Let's see if this makes a difference to his jungle clear.
InkJet actually still has the option to go for the Zac here, though.
This is true. Let's see if they continue to pick up that champion.
I think Zac... Oh, they're actually getting the Volibear here. But I personally think Zac versus Sejuani would be better than the Hecarim versus... would be better than the Hecarim versus Zac.
Alright, and they picked the Nami. That was another solid pick. Opting for the Thresh again.
Yeah, but this time we don't have our bot laner set in stone yet. I wonder where that Volibear is going. Is he going to go jungle? Is he going to go top? Or are we going to see some spice and see Volibear mid?
You know, really, I see it mostly go top, but then again, I play with you a little bit too much.
I mean, I've only played Volibear like once recently.
I mean, yeah, but you play him top lane.
But, actually getting the Twitch here, and I definitely think that's going to be 80 carry since we had the Sejuani.
I'm curious if he's going to do the AP Twitch thing, or if he's going to do the AD crit build.
I think if they go more tanky, like getting the Zac there, he probably just wants to go to the AD, get that get that Kraken Slayer, get that damage.
Yeah, I will agree with Ethereal Images. The Twitch will probably have a lot bigger of an impact this game than the Sivir did last game. Sivir definitely feels like one of those champions. The way she is right now is just like a win more champion. If you're ahead, it lets you just run in with the ultimate right there, and she's kind of nice from behind because she does have decent wave clear. But definitely, like, the big reason you pick her is that ultimate.
Getting the Fizz ban and the Lucian ban on Raven Esports, getting the Runso and the Gnar for inject bans here. I personally think they should have opted for the Zac ban since was just such a big powerhouse early. Not even for the fact that he got fed, for the fact that he just got his lanes fed.
Yeah,
fled so much
but
CC.
they opted to ban the Viego and the Jhin. Looks like we're getting an Ashe over the Lucian. Kind of a 180. Lucian being very aggressive, very aggro, and Ashe kind of being a little bit more poke, a little bit more reserved of a champion.
I mean, they also could not pick Lucian.
Well, yeah, but they could have picked something else aggressive, such as, like, you know, Samira.
Yeah. I personally think Samira would have been fine. You have the knockup from the Nami, the Zac. A lot of stuff to get the knockup part of the passive at least. Looks like we're getting a Darius from Raven Esports here. going for the Nico I know you play a little bit of Nico, so what do you think about her mid lane currently?
Personally, Nico, I think 90% of her good matchups are basically those melee matchups. I definitely think if the mid laner was going to play Nico, there was basically no reason to ban Viego. I definitely think Nico is a fantastic champion into Viego.
Well, and haven't you seen that the only really mid lane ban or mid lane melee champion that she does not do well into is Yasuo?
Yeah, that's purely because of the wind wall. Like, it's just so difficult to actually deal with the wind wall. If you bait it out, she'll win, but if you don't, it's hard to get some good damage down.
But looking at this, it's actually Nico versus the Rise matchup. You play both of these champions. I really want to hear from you. Who do you think's going to win in mid lane?
I mean, it's a Rise. He is very short-ranged comparatively to other champions such as Xerath. I definitely think Nico has the advantage because she can just go in there, pop him for half his health very easily because he's going to be in range. The advantage is that Rise will scale a lot better than the Nico will. He can very possibly tear through the front line of teams, just EQ, WQ, or QE, QEQ, WQ, and just repeating the process, rinse and repeat. Like, it just does so much damage to, like, tanks and squishies alike, and, like, whether you want to or not, like, you really just can't group up against the Rise, because if you're grouped up, like, your whole team's all of a sudden getting hit by his full combo, and that's a lot of damage.
He already had a decent scaling, but he gets more damage. They actually made it so people want to level his ultimate because he gets more damage based on the level of his ult.
Yeah, the popping his E with his Q gives more damage based on leveling his ult up to basically doubling the damage of what it would do.
So I want to say for the top lane matchup here, this top lane matchup certainly favors the Darius early, and I think it favors him at most points of the game, but Volibear, unless Darius can just snowball his way to victory, Volibear is just going to be a lot more helpful for the team, like with his diving potential with the Zac, and just his overall tankiness as well.
I'll agree with that. The Volibear has a lot more utility to it than the Darius does.
But if Darius does snowball, it might be hard for InkJet420 to counter him.
Yes, they do have a lot of lockdown though. They've got like Ashe ult, Ashe slows, they've got Nami ult, Nami stun, Rise snare, Zac stun, they've also got Volibear stun. Like, they do have a lot of CC to lock the Darius down if he does get ahead, and give them enough time to kill him if need be.
But looking at this now, who do you think is going to win? Do you think InkJet420 is going to 2-0, or do you think Raven Esports is going to bring it to a 1-1?
I'm gonna be honest. After watching that last game and just seeing like the macro differences between the two teams, and I don't know if it's just like they had an off game from Raven Esports or something had happened or anything like that. But I'm gonna have to continue favoring InkJet here, just purely off of like how good their macro was over Raven Esports.
Yeah, I'm going to have to agree with you there. They just had such good macro the first game, but they also kept people on like the Nami and the Zac, people who actually were influential game one. So it probably isn't going to be much to change in terms of at least those champions, but it's like top lane don't really want to look for a brawl because of Darius. Volibear just does not like that matchup early, and then the Ashe versus the Twitch, I don't know who's gonna be better in terms of like killing the tanks here.
So realistically, I don't think either I think Twitch kills the tanks for the side of Raven, and I think the Rise is the real tank killer for the side of InkJet. But they did opt out of Raven opted out of having that tank in the top lane, They did opt in for a bruiser instead.
I definitely think if it was if you want to go like a tank versus the volley bear, something like it just would not be more beneficial for the tank in this matchup. But again, something like a Darius or an Nectin, something that can just beat on volley bear early and get out before he has the chance to like sustain with his W. Definitely going to be better for Raven Esports.
Yep, I'll agree. We'll see what happens in the game.
I wanted to ask you though, what do you think of Twitch Thresh versus Ash Nami?
Twitch Thresh, if Thresh can land a hook, they definitely win that game by just going in. They have, obviously higher damage than that lane. And if they land a hook on either the Nami or the Ashe, they will most likely just kill them because they are both fairly squishy. However, I do see Ashe and Nami being a more utility bot lane, so even if they do get behind a little bit, as long as they're not feeding into that Twitch, they're going to be very useful throughout the game.
Nice. Alright. I see.
Alright, as this is loading up, I'm going to make sure that I get all of the team names and everything set up real fast.
Oh. So
see something interesting.
While we're just loading in here, something that caught my eye is that we have Electrocute Volley Bear against the Darius. Certainly not bad. He definitely has enough to get the Electrocute off, but I personally do not know if that would be good into the Darius or not. And we also get Hail of Blades Ash.
Hail of Blades is definitely there for that short trading. But I don't know how well Ashe can use it. I'm gonna go ahead and pause at 10 seconds. So let me know when you're ready, Raccoon.
I'm there.
Alright, let me get this stuff set up really fast. Alright, 3, 2, 1, go. Alright, and they're going to be off.
We already got pings coming out on the side of 420 here. But do you think that Raven Esports would opt for the invade? They got suitable CC with the Thresh, the Sejuani.
I definitely think they could. I think they have a very solid team to do the invade, but it does not seem like they're opting to do it.
Well, but they know what ability Volibear started at least.
Yep, getting a ward there in Raptors. Kind of a niche ward. We'll see how it works out. I do believe it'll be expired by the time Zach ends up rotating through there anyway.
But actually, because of Sejuani moving up to the Volibear, it allowed the other three in 420 to get down to the red side jungle of Hollow here and get a ward onto his red buff.
Yeah, so they will know that Hollow is starting that top side on the blue buff there, on the opposite side of the map.
Hopefully for Hollow, he is able to kill the buff before Darius bleed. Before Darius bleed can
steal it.
Kill it. Yes.
Yeah, both bot and top lane they have opted for the champions that do that. Thresh coming out on the Nami. Twitch trying to go in, but Twitch taking way more harass coming out of this.
It's definitely short trades like that that make Halo Blades worth it for a champion like Ashe.
Yeah.
And they hook the Nam, whichever one they hook their Nami would have just healed, and then. But I think if they hooked the Ashe there, it would have been a lot harder for them to get the short trade off.
Yeah, they definitely need to go for Ashe. There are very few lanes where you want to focus that support first.
Mm-hmm.
Bot lane warding that river, and Darius getting shoved in, down 7 CS already. Just getting half health by the Volibear with that electrocute. Rise trying to fight Nico now. Twitch ganking mid lane. Blowing that Rise flash.
I personally think he didn't have to blow flash there, but because Nico had already used her snare and Twitch was not going to provide any CC.
Yeah, this is true. The Twitch roam right there, kind of awkward though. It's very early. He's gonna lose out in CS and experience in the bot lane. He's gonna end up hitting like level 3 like fairly late.
And that also, because of that roam, it left Thresh to take damage here.
Yeah, Thresh now getting run down, having to flash away from the Nami bubble. Sejuani waiting in that bush. Ashe and Nami are getting stuck between. Darius now is going to be fighting. Ashe getting very low at the Ignite right there, having to flash away, but it looks like she's going to get out, and Darius got out as well.
Still have to respect Darius if you don't have enough to kill him. Because that 5 bleed stack, even though it did get nerfed, it's still quite strong early levels.
Stun coming out from Zac. Darius will go down first blood to the Volibear.
Good gank by the Zac there. Darius didn't know, and he was also very close to the minion wave, so just insta getting the Darius in there. But going down to the bot lane fight real quick, that Nami bubble just saved Ashe there. She's been really good at hitting those bubbles in these games, apparently.
Yeah, I mean, I will agree with that. She's hit very good bubbles. At the very least, they are very good for taking people into positions they don't want to be in.
She's been having very good timed bubbles. Well, but we'll say that engage on the Ashe did calm it down for the Twitch a little bit, so he wouldn't be as behind as he would. Actually, I think he's a little bit ahead.
Yeah, he actually is ahead in CS right now because he got that couple waves of experience.
Mm-hmm.
Nico just spending all of her mana to push along with Rise. They're just doing whatever they can to push those lanes and get whatever farm they can.
Yeah, but unlike the Rise, Nico actually has the corrupting potion, so we'll at least be able to regen her mana a little bit better than the Rise can. Rise actually opting to go for the Sapphire Crystal instead of something like a Doran's Ring or a Tear.
That is actually fairly common. I'm actually, I prefer starting Tear because that's all you're gonna build the Sapphire Crystal into that anyway.
Yeah, it's just if Darius can just dodge that initial engage from the Volibear, he will have a better time fighting him.
Thresh, throwing out the hook. Unfortunately, like if you're playing like a Thresh, if you miss that hook, that is a lot down your threat. TP coming in for Rise mid, and Volibear kind of getting stuck under tower here.
Volibear actually playing a dangerous game here. There is a...
Oh, Zac coming in on the Thresh. Navi Bubble coming out as well. Heal coming out from the Twitch as he runs away for his life. And Ashe will take down that Thresh right there. Sejuani trying to turret dive, but going down to the Volibear ult right there.
I think it's very lucky that Volibear reached 6 there, but he's not going to have that much for Darius's all-in right now because Darius still has his passive that people like to use on him a lot, and then just his ultimate hurts so much if you're just risking a low health fight.
Looks like we got InkJet coming in, trying to get that first Drake. A little bit of a late pink war, but it doesn't matter because there's nobody that can see them doing this. They just know that they rotated up.
Red team has slain the dragon.
honestly here, who do you like more in terms of wave clear, Nico or the Rise? I think I already know your answer here, but just wanted to
It is going to be Rise. Nico can wave clear, but it's definitely not as efficient as Rise. Rise has shorter cooldowns, and he can take out both of the minion waves very efficiently. So I definitely favor him as a wave clear champion.
Zach actually giving the Rise the blue buff. Don't normally see that all like too many games recently.
Yeah, no, my jungler never gives me blue buff. In fact, my jungler just takes my cannon minions. He doesn't like me getting anything.
I will say what's a little bit not helpful for the Volibear here is that he's not. Well, now he has a little bit of health, but he's had that Sheen and Doran's Blade first. No really extra health to try to get with the Darius. It looks like they're going to try for something against the Rise,
Yeah,
but I think he already knows.
Yeah, that is true. You gotta play careful in a Rise matchup like this, especially since that early gank from Twitch, like, you know something's up.
And it's not only that early gank from Twitch that Rise knows something's up, it's just the fact that he's not their bot lane either.
Yeah, you just know
Which is
that
also
stealthing. Ash getting snared by Thresh into the tower, having to heal. Well, probably not having to. I think she probably could have held that.
I think because of that Thresh hook, either some damage was going to come out, or Twitch and Sejuani were close by.
Oh, Nico ult barely clipping the Rise there, but it looks like the fight is going to end up in Rise's favor either way. Oh, Volibear now getting hooked under the tower there. Volibear opting to fight this. Ghost coming up from Darius, trying to run him down. That healing coming out as well. Darius just trying to stay alive and kills Volibear right there as both of them flash. Twitch getting ulted by the Ashe and will go down to the arrow there. Rise will also be getting caught by Sejuani in the enemy jungle after killing the Nico. Just fights on all parts of the maps going on.
So much we gotta talk about here. It's just the top lane. I think Volibear ulted a little bit too late there. Darius had already had most of his stacks on him, and you do not want to fight a Darius if he has at least three or more of his hemorrhage stacks. And then that mid lane fight definitely worked out for the Rise there. You know, he got caught out by the ultimate just barely because Nico. Rise is one of those champions where you can't really go to the minion wave if you're to be safe because he's just his E.
I mean, got that too, and he did kill the Nico, even though he got caught out by Sedge immediately after. He's got the kill on Nico, and he's up almost 30 CS, or at least was until Nico got back mid and cleared that wave.
And then the bot lane just taking out the Twitch. The Twitch, I think, needs to stop these roams a little bit. He's just getting way too far behind.
Oh, Volibear getting engaged on by Sedge, but Darius missing that apprehend. Just barely out of range.
I think if he waited for a little bit more slows from the Sejuani there, he could have gotten that apprehend. But saying 420 is still up ahead by a 1k, like a 1.2k gold lead.
Yeah,
because of both
that.
mid and bot. Yeah. Looking at the items here, looks like Volibear wants to go for that Divine Sunder though. Not much of a tanky mythic if you ask me. And in this matchup, I don't know if Divine Sunder would be worth it.
Sejuani trying to take that red buff. Zach will see it die before his eyes, and Sejuani's just going to try and get out there.
Yeah. Though with this, they know that the Sejuani's at least getting to the top side, so they could try for something bot lane, or could try to steal some for own red side camps. I will say, looking at this, the opinion's still going to be the same for 420, most likely taking this game.
It does look heavily in their favor. Nico having to flash away from the Zac gank, but still taking some damage to the Rise there.
And Rise, actually, I think being a little bit, yeah, he's actually ahead of this Nico in terms of like gold and stuff, and he's already a big scaling champion for the side of 420 here. Someone you do not want to see even break even with your matchup.
This is true. They pulled out the dragon. Raven Esports now taking both sides of the fight here. It seems we've got bot lane on the bot side. Nico getting hit by the Ashe ultimate. Almost getting stunned by the Zac, but going down to the Ashe. Sejuani now having to get a Thresh Lantern to get out. Second dragon goes to InkJet.
Also, there's something that was pretty funny there. Rise did pop his ultimate, and even though he walked out of it, the Nami did not. But I think it actually put Nami in a more safer position than what she was in, because she was then behind her Zac and her Rise.
Rise is also getting some plates in the mid lane. Oh, Ashe getting hooked out here. Twitch blowing his ultimate, but getting hit by the Nami stun. Twitch flashing to take down that Ashe. Nami now on the run, and it looks like she will get out.
Yes. So, I think the flash was the more optimal point there from the Ashe. Yes, but she did flash into an extra Thresh part of his ultimate, so she just, that flash didn't really mean nothing because she just got slowed.
Yeah, I will say, despite everything that's been happening, Ashe is still up 500 gold. There is a 1.4k gold lead in favor of the Rise mid, with Darius only having a like 200 gold lead on the Volibear, and the Sejuani basically even, less than 100 gold difference there.
Yeah. It's just, it seems as Zac has had a little bit more impact in the lanes here.
Yeah, I mean, Zac is everywhere. The gold difference is basically coming from the fact that Sedge has a kill instead of the 4 assists.
And I think the top lane difference there is just the fact that Darius is up 30 farm. He also got the shutdown off of the Volibear.
I will agree, but Volibear does have 2 kills now. He's still pretty strong, definitely a decent threat.
You know, we were saying that Rise didn't go something like a tier earlier, but
going in on the Rise here. Ashe ult came out mid, hitting the Nico there. Nico will go down to the Zac, and Darius trying to run down the Volibear here will take Volibear's life, barely getting away from the turret aggro. Sejuani also living with very little life.
Sadly for I think the Volibear just really needs to tank up at this point. Like he can't out-brawl a Darius at this stage of the game, especially with that Strat Breaker. But I wanted to say something. We said how this Rise didn't go something like a tier first, but he's got his tier item now, and he's stacking it very well because that's what Rise does.
It is not as they did make it easier to stack. They lowered it to like 360, but you do have to hit things now, which is kind of unfortunate.
And it makes sense, so you don't have people like Rise and Ezreal just using their abilities willy-nilly.
Yeah, but it was before. It did take a lot more mana to get to it before.
We have the Kraken Slayer coming from the Ashe here, but the Gale Force coming from Twitch.
Yeah, it does give him some mobility. Darius engaging in on the Volibear. And it looks like Volibear is going to half health him, taking out a lot of health, but the healing from that Q just doing too much. Zac now going to try and do something, but it looks like he just ran into a trap, but Rise is now here.
Rampage.
Darius going to kill that Zac. Sejuani chasing the Rise for some reason, taking the kill from the Darius.
Yes. Honestly, I think if there's going to be someone that's going to snowball this game hard, and can still snowball, it's going to be this Darius. Volibear is just taking so many. He's just playing so far up, not within range of his tower, and is mostly trying to opt to fight Darius after his shield's already down and he already has 3 hemorrhage stacks on him.
It's true. To be fair, it is getting close. It's not like it's going 100%
Yeah.
in favor of the Darius. Like, the fights are getting relatively close.
Yes, they are getting certainly extremely close. But it's just Darius, once he gets that 5 hemorrhage stacks with his ultimate, it's one big ride.
Go engaging on the Ashe, but going down to the Ashe she wanted to kill. Twitch popping the ultimate, trying to get as much damage as he can on the Nami and Zac, but not enough. Volibear now running in and instantly taking down the Twitch with the help of his ultimate. Sejuani now getting pulled back by the Zac, and just going to take the Thresh Lantern to safety. Not the best time for them to take that fight from Raven, because now InkJet will get that dragon.
But Darius is down here, so and someone like the Nami is already having to use her heal to heal herself up instead of someone like the Zac or the Ryze when Darius goes in. So
Darius is coming in from behind that Ryze right there. They got that ult, and it's stolen from Raven Esports. The Ashe ult not exactly hitting anything. Darius trying to run down that Ryze, but taking Volibear's life instead.
Yeah.
Oh, good slow from the Ashe there. Hopefully saving out the Nami's life with the flash.
Yeah, slow there was really good, but again, Darius is just snowballing for these fights.
Yeah, 5 men take that mid tower there. Raven Esports now on a gold lead.
By a 0.8k. We'll say it now. Looks like Volibear is starting to see that he needs to just beef up a little bit.
Yep,
I definitely
tank stats.
I definitely think the Zac just needs to buy a little bit more armor at this point. Really, they kind of shut down the Nico still pretty hard here. So, and he already has some MR with the Merc Treads with part of the Sunfire. I just think he needs to armor up more for the Twitch and the Darius, especially the Darius.
This is true. Just getting that. If he can tank the Darius, it's a huge game changer. It's like they were running out of time in that Rift Herald. But it will.
But it will put pressure into the mid side here. But I don't think it will be able to get a charge off before they can kill it.
Nope. Looks like it's attempting to auto something, although I'm not sure what.
It's not attempting to auto, it was attempting to do its little big swing thing because Nico popped the eye.
Oh no, that's a special auto from the buff. Looks like the game has kind of slowed down a little bit.
Yep. And still with the gold lead for Raven Esports here, but 420 is catching up on that gold lead pretty quickly.
Sejuani is now going to engage on the Volibear with the Twitch. He is going to get stuck under that tower, but oh, Twitch barely taking out the Volibear there.
That last second heal is what sealed the deal there. And just Volibear is kind of just trying to take these fights with no one really near him to back him up, while like the Darius or the Twitch has the Sejuani like really just near, just in case.
Yeah, Ryze is now going to counter the split pushing coming from the Darius. Fantastic choice. He'll be able to clear the waves much more efficiently than the Darius can push them.
But I will say, if he gets too close, I think Ryze would
Ryze
fall.
will not survive a Darius. You're right.
So like he just needs to play at range. Just needs to clear those waves. Can't go for any fights. But I will say, in terms of farm, other than let's say like the top lane and the mid lane, most of the farm is near even.
Yeah, even the jungle CS, but like mid lane is that's a 70 CS gold difference. 70 CS difference. The Rise is scaling. Darius will start to fall off.
Yeah.
Looks like he's trying to go in on that Rise right there, but we got Nami here. He's gonna flash and get the ultimate off. You got Nami and Zac fighting that Darius. Now Rise ticking out to those stacks. Zac now trying to do whatever he can. TP coming in. Flash from the Zac to survive by using his passive.
I will say, well played by Darius there with the flash, so he can get the W and then his ult onto the Rise before he is able to even flash or just get away himself.
The ult and then flash from Sejuani is what I think I just saw. Both used and nothing to come for it, unfortunately.
Well, Ashe's flashed.
Oh, Ashe did flash, yeah, that is true. I mean, flash for flash is good, especially since you're taking it from the Ashe.
Yeah, but it was a flash and then an ultimate as well.
Yeah, it's a 2-for-1, especially with Dragon spawning, but it looks like InkJet's just going to sacrifice it, attempting to go and kill the Twitch. Twitch just being able to Gale Force away.
It's really hard for 420 to take most of these fights here because the Darius is just so strong, and then they'll most likely have just someone trying to split push their way to victory here. But just looking at the gold again, it's now a 2k gold lead for the side of Raven Esports here, and really other than the mid lane and the support who's about even for supporting, Raven Esports is ahead of all their enemy laners in gold.
It looks like Sejuani's trying to sneak in bot lane, see if they can get a kill on that Volibear, but opts to not do it. And Rise still just farming it up right now.
I think he's going to go for a Frozen Heart.
More than likely, it's a very good item right now.
I did hear Frozen Heart was one of those items that did get buffed recently as well.
And look at that damage coming down on the Thresh, having to flash away from the Rise. Ult coming out on the Nico. Sejuani still trying to go in on that Ashe. Thresh now under tower. Gonna go down to the Rise. Rise now trying to get into this other fight. Nico ult coming out. Zac still going in. Still alive. Rise will shut down the Sejuani, and Twitch will almost go down there as well.
I will say it does seem a bit hard for Raven Esports to go for these fights if they don't have stuff like flashes or ultimates, and without the main man, the Darius.
Darius, I will say the game is close, but it does seem like Darius is like the biggest factor for InkJet being able to not take fights. If Darius isn't there, they are able to take these fights without a little problem.
And especially if someone like the Rise is there, just with his DPS output, especially now that he has basically been scaling this entire game.
Yeah, I mean that's a ridiculous amount of gold just from the CS. He's almost at that 10 CS a minute right now.
And then and if Darius tries to go for a split push, they can at least rely on the Volibear to at least hopefully hold the Darius where he is, so 420 can win these fights where they need to.
Yeah, I will say they do have the advantage. Darius does not have ATP. He opted for the Ghost to play a lot more aggressive in lane and win his lane, but that does lower the map pressure for them.
And then looking at the vision score here, everyone really around that 20 vision score mark except for the supports here. But
yeah, I will say vision score, aside from the vision score is It's not bad, but like at the same time, it's not fantastic.
Something you can always do is just strive to get better. Am I right?
Oh yeah. I mean, heck, you used to have a 0 vision score. Oh, Sejuani ult coming in, missing, but still diving in on the Ashe. With Sejuani, with Zac coming in behind the Sejuani. Ashe now just trying to melt that Sejuani. Sejuani's gonna go down with the stun.
I will say after Sejuani missed that ultimate, she just should not have gone on for the Ashe. Ashe has stuff like Kraken Slayer, so she can just melt through Sejuani.
Yeah, I mean...
Sejuani actually opting to go for the Knight's Vow second.
Darius going in on the Volibear here. Volibear just trading in there. Darius going in with the Ghost, apprehending the Volibear at almost what it seems like max range. Darius now getting low. Will go down, but will kill Volibear with that ultimate. It seems like it will not matter though because Raven going for that Baron. Oh, Hook coming out in the Rise. Rise have flashing away that Thresh so low, going down to an Ashe auto. Now Zac is getting in on that Nico. Nico getting the ultimate off, barely alive, and will go down to the Kraken Slayer proc from the Ashe. Sejuani now trying to get in on the action here. They just keep trying to take these fights. They are leading Ashe.
I will, and also Rise did have the back to try to counter the Darius push, but he could actually kill Darius here.
Oh, but the flash coming in from Darius. Rise just not able to hit him, but gets a huge shutdown. That is so much gold for the Rise here. Darius blowing his flash there. Really, I just think unless Darius can just one bang the Rise with like a Q, W, and ult, then I don't think he needed to flash there. It was just going to be a waste. Sejuani dashing over the pit. They need to wait for their Zac to show up here, and then they can take this dragon. They have a numbers advantage here as long as they don't fail to smite. Oh, doesn't even look like they're going to contest it. Ashe coming out with the ult on Thresh. Ashe is alone. Oh, the ult and the hook coming in. Ashe will almost certainly go down here. Nami coming out. Rise just putting out whatever DPS he can in the middle of the team fight here. He's going to have to try and do what he can to Twitch, almost taking Twitch down and killing Twitch and Thresh here. Just definitely a bad follow-up. They should have just left the Ashe to die on that over aggression.
Yeah, they should have just left the Ashe, and something I noticed is that Rise ulted, but his ult ended at the worst time possible for him. He got CC'd by the Nico there from her ultimate as soon as he popped in, but he still managed to kill 2 people.
Yeah, looks like they're gonna go for the Baron here.
They still take that quite fast, mostly just probably because of the Darius and the amount of stuff Sejuani can do for tanking wise.
I will say one thing, and I've seen it from both sides. They place the pink ward while they're taking the big objective, but they place it like halfway through killing it.
When the other team already has a decent idea of when to just engage. Ashe here actually having lost like a quarter of her HP.
Yeah, need to be careful with that Darius though.
Yeah, which is not something you want to see when you have like a Darius.
Zac going in, but he's the only one wanting to go in here, but he does get out. Volibear now going in with the Sedge ult being blown on him. Sedge now getting stunned. Some auto attacks. This is unfortunately seeming very uncoordinated coming out here.
Yeah, but again, they do have that Rise to at least try to stall the Baron push because of his wave clear.
It is kind of rough though. They do get a lot of magic resist coming in.
Though he still is seeming to do decent damage. That's probably why Rise is almost at 6 items already.
Yeah, Rise doing a lot of damage. Having that Frozen Heart, having that Zonia, is working on that Morello Namicon to finish off his build.
Yep. Personally, what is your favorite option for a mythic on Rise? I know Ludens is like seems a
Ludens
great
is
option
definitely the go-to. Personally, I'm still trying to experiment with Rise and seeing what feels good. Especially if you're gonna go this much into the tanky mana, you could almost go like a Rift Maker and sustain the fights more. I haven't tried it a whole lot, but like I'm tempted to give it a go.
Yeah. Just wanted to ask some questions as it seems to be a more calming point here.
Yeah, and it seems like our coach is flaming both teams in chat as well. Darius now trying to run away from both Volibear, Rise, and the Ashe ult. Ghosting out there, getting slowed by the Volibear ult and going down. That is a huge kill, especially since they had Baron buff on top of it.
And they have 2 TPs heading to the top lane there. Honestly, I think they could have just sent Rise up there to deal with the wave.
Oh, they're playing this well. They're sending only one person through the portal. Nico ult coming in, flash. Rise getting hooked right there. Zone using right there at the end with the Twitch, just doing so much damage. Nico barely surviving.
I will say it was good that they sent only one, but a little bit overzealous there by Rise and Volibear. They should have just cleared the wave and waited for their team to catch up.
Yeah, I will agree with that. They did not. They even had vision. They knew people were coming. Sending the red buff over to Ashe.
You really have to respect that vision sometimes.
Oh, Zach going in, getting the Sedge. Sedge's Sunner Tower taking a lot of damage. Ashe flashing the wall and taking out the Sejuani.
Not bad on the side of 420. They had one good thing about that Rise and Volibear fight is that yeah, Rise and Volibear did die, but they had to use a lot of stuff for it.
Dragon coming up here. It is Soul Point for InkJet, and they do have the enemy jungler dead. It's going to take Sejuani a little bit of time to get there. They might be thinking about just rushing it down with that.
I honestly personally should wait for Volibear and Rise to be there at least.
Looks like they're just going for it, rushing it down. Zach's still in the pit right now. Darius getting snared and fought. They get that Dragon Elder. Dragon Soul. There we go. It's not Elder. And
Nico just dying before she can even do her full ultimate. But I will say at this point, the only people with, and actually most of the team on Raven Esports has Grievous, but I think personally Darius and Twitch should both be going for one. Oh yeah, and I'm seeing something in Twitch's build that is actually catching my eye. He's going mostly AD, but he has that Medjais.
Yeah, that is kind of odd. That is a lot of damage. I will say that is damage. Sejuani jumping into the enemy team here. Darius trying to do stuff. But the Ashe, even with that death stance on the Darius, Ashe still able to do so much damage to him right there. And he will go down to the Nami of all people. Thresh now getting run down. Both Thresh and Sedge having to flash away. Zach keeping on the chase, and Thresh will be going down. Rise split pushing bot lane in the meantime.
I will say I think at this point Darius doesn't even matter because they just have so much healing with the Ocean Drakes. Even with the Grievous wounds, they really only get 60% on like certain things that happen. So
Ashe getting an ult onto that Nico, but not much comes of it. Oh, but she's gonna go down to the Rise. Sejuani now turning her sights on the Rise, but just doesn't have the ability to take her down. Rise now flashing, trying to kill that Twitch. And he is going to barely live with just minimal HP right there, but they are making the right decision going for that inhibitor.
I feel like they should get out soon, though. They have Darius up, unless they can both kite him out, which, personally, they can, but with Twitch still alive, that would be still kind of hard.
I will say that Darius will have a hard time killing that Rise. Rise does have a lot of armor.
And Darius getting his Grievous wounds now. Twitch still not opting for it, but I think it would be beneficial for him to do it.
Twitch is full build right now too, though. He would have to sell something.
I personally think if he was going to sell anything, it would just be the Medjais.
Yeah, it's cool, but I'm not so sure about the Medjais. I think you go all in on the AP, you're just not at all.
Or I definitely think you should have just gotten the Medjais a little bit earlier when you still. But to be fair, earlier Twitch didn't really have as many kills as he does now.
It looks like chat wants him to sell his boots and just buy an Asher's Tooth, and I'm gonna be honest, that might be the play.
Yeah, but he does become slower, which is easier for Ash and Rise to just get him.
Yeah. Coach is definitely asking, wanting to see that. Then again, this is the same person that told me that just go 0-11 on Caitlyn and you'll win.
Oh. Actually, Rise opting to not go for the Morello Nomicon and opting to go for the Void Staff just to get that extra damage on people with magic resist.
Yeah, I mean, I will say, between Ash and the two Thorn Males, they do have quite a bit of Grievous since they're grouping. Since they're grouping together, he just needs to get that extra damage to get through some of the tankier people.
Yeah, and then with just Nami and plus Ocean Drake now too, they just have so much sustain. Looks like they're just doing the classic old 3 mid, 1 top, 1 bottom, but personally I just think they should all just push top. They have supers pushing in both other lanes.
The supers coming in. Ash and Nami are mid. There's 4 people mid from the side of Raven Esports. They've only sent Darius to answer top lane so far.
I'm still quite surprised about the Knight's Vow on Sejuani so early. I personally think if you're going for something like this, because you still have some poke from like the Rise, still some from the...
Oh, the ult coming onto the Rise from the Sejuani. Fresh hooking as well, just so much CC. Rise gonna heal up a little bit here, and he's gonna try and he's gonna kill Twitch. He's staying alive barely, takes out the Sejuani. Rise just popping off right there. Darius getting stunned right there, and he's gonna go down to the Ash. Sejuani now in a bad, or Nico now in a bad spot with the Zonia is gonna get stunned and killed. This looks like it is the end for Raven Esports. InkJet's pulling out the absolutely insane 2-0.
I will say there, it's just I like the fact that they went on the Rise there, but he just had so much healing with Ocean.
Yeah, plus the Zac coming in there was...
Also, if I remember, Rise also took what normal Rise take, which is the red tree healing as well, so he had that.
He had that going for him as well.
Yeah. Rise just got so ahead early, even though Volibear was kind of just struggling a little bit. Rise just scaling so much.
They got Darius ahead, but like in the end,
he was the only one ahead.
In the end, Darius just does drop off.
Yeah, looking at these damage charts here, almost 42, almost 42k from the Rise here. That's what you like to see.
And even that Zac healing 42,000, 52,000 healing from Zac.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, gold charts about what you would expect coming out of this. Vision scores definitely slowed down with Vision coming into the mid and late game.
Yeah, but most of the time during the mid and late game, they were either like fights or just trying to control waves, really.
Yeah, it's true. All right, now we're gonna go ahead and hop off. We have quite a few more games coming in today, so I'm excited to see what the other games that are being played today. And so until then, we'll see you later.
See you.